Hello there, glad you chose RTV News. I am Isabel Masozera. This is what we have coming up. Rwanda and Kenya will be collaborating to develop their agricultural sectors. And also coming up, Kenyan entrepreneurs in Rwanda have highlighted the benefits of the alliance of both countries. It's a joy to have your company on RTV News. Top of our coverage, Rwanda and Kenya have agreed on a strong collaboration towards developing the agricultural sectors of both countries. This was revealed on Wednesday as President William Ruto and President Paul Kagame visited the Rwanda Institute of Conservation Agriculture, RICA, in Gashora, Bugesera district.
The Rwanda Institute of Conservation Agriculture, RICA, is an internationally recognized institute in Rwanda that specializes in conservation agriculture and One Health principles. On Wednesday, President Ruto and President Kagame visited RICA. In his message, President Ruto appreciated the university's service to the youth and moved towards the better change in the agricultural sector. The Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Ildefonso Musafiri, states that Rwanda and Kenya agreed on partnering in the agricultural sector, hence the visit to this university.
The
visit also aims at detecting where Rwanda has skills, because in the signed agreements we included capacity building and sharing skills, among others. So the visit aims at analyzing where to start and also sharing skills on how to train young people to join professional agriculture and agro-processing. The heads of state will explain the courses provided by this university in faculties including technology, irrigation, food processing, crop production and animal production. Marie-Merci Rutaisire, a student and intern in RICA, explains how animal food is processed.
Ahangaha cyane cyane ibiva mu mirima yacu ni soya n'ibigori turabyakira.
We get soy and maize from our farms. We measure the moisture content in it, and when the quantity is high, and we dry them to the accurate measurement. Here you see these vessels, one with soy and the other with maize. Animal food from soy has to first be roasted. We also have a mixer that mixes soy, maize and other ingredients to make food.
RICA is on 1,300 hectares of land, and the biggest area are farms where students practice their skills, and here President Ruto drove a soy preparation electronic tractor used by this institute in agriculture. The Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Research and Extension, Dr. Richard Ferguson, elaborates on the contribution of this institute towards productive and conservation agriculture in Rwanda and Africa.
We explained that agriculture is critical in Rwanda. We know that. But productivity is not what it could be. Soils are degraded and eroded often because of excess tillage. And so reducing tillage is one of the main principles that we practice at RICA as part of conservation agriculture. We also rotate crops. We don't grow the same crop always the same year after year or season after season. We teach the application of crop residues to protect against soil erosion. We use inputs like fertilizer, seed, and irrigation water only if they improve income. So it doesn't make sense for a farmer to do something if he doesn't make more money doing that. And so we try and encourage farmers to adopt practices that will both increase production, protect the environment, and make them more money.
The RICA students also state that the heads of state visit is an encouragement.
We are happy and we were not expectant of this visit, but this is an encouragement and it will make us work hard for using the skills gained here to benefit the country.
The Rwanda Institute of Conservation Agriculture was established by the government of Rwanda in partnership with the Howard G. Buffett Foundation. It has been 4 years since it started its programs, and the first session of students is set to graduate in August this year. Before noon, President Ruto visited Irembo, a web-based platform that Rwandans and foreigners use to apply for public services seamlessly, and he appreciated its services. On Wednesday evening, President William Ruto concluded his two-day state visit and was bid farewell at the Kigali International Airport by his counterpart of Rwanda, President Kagame. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
His presence has definitely been felt. Now, still on matters of Kenya and Rwanda, some of the Kenyan businessmen and women here in Rwanda have highlighted the benefits of the cooperation between the two countries in various sectors. We now go to Adam Squizera for more.
Some of the activities that were carried out by His Excellency Dr. William Ruto on his first day of the state visit to Rwanda include signing Memorandum of Understanding in 9 various sectors, which includes trade activities, agriculture, education, and more. Some of the Kenyans who are carrying out business activities in Rwanda retaliate on the benefits drawn from the cooperation between Rwanda and Kenya, which facilitates residents from the both countries.
And it is a mutual benefit. We are really benefiting from this country, especially with developing tourism, I would say in my sector. Kenya, of course, people are assisted by the government, but here it was really amazing.
So there has been a lot of opportunities for the two countries in terms of development of human capital. Mount Kenya University, for example, has been in Rwanda for more than 12 years now, and in those 12 years, we have graduated thousands of Rwandan professionals in all different sectors of the economy and in all different professions.
They also emphasized that the cooperation of both countries plays a significant role in the development of the East African community and Africa as a continent in general.
It's very exciting because recently the East African Community Initiative, if you're aware, has been going around. They have different scholars from different East African countries sharing notes and even inspecting institutions of higher learning all over East African region. That means that in the very near future, with the opening of the cooperation, Rwandans can be able to work in Kenya and vice versa, or in the other East African region countries.
I am so excited. I was so excited to see my president, Dr. William Ruto, and my president, His Excellency Paul Kagame, together, because these are two leaders who we have a lot of hope in as a continent. They are decisive, they are strong, they are sober, they are Pan-African. And the two countries have been very key in the East African community build-up into business and everything. And our two presidents are the kind of presidents who can say, remove the borders. I was very happy to hear about how they want that we open up the air, the communication to be open. And if the other heads of state in the East African community can follow them, we can see an open East Africa and an open Africa, in the end.
Currently, there are about 10,000 Kenyan diaspora in Rwanda who work in various sectors, and others are students. The President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, reiterated on the role of this Kenyan community in the development of Rwanda.
We are very happy that Rwanda is home to a large and vibrant Kenyan community. We are grateful for their contributions to our development. Private sector growth is a key priority for us in Rwanda and Kenya. Regional integration and trade is a big part of that equation. I hope we can leverage these shared interests to equip our youth with the skills and knowledge to innovate and compete. To put our resources together is to own our development with less dependence on the rest of the world.
On the second day of his state visit to Rwanda, Kenya's President William Ruto appreciated the Kenyan community in Rwanda for representing their country abroad.
Congratulations to all of you who have been daring enough to venture abroad and to keep the flag of our country flying even in these far lands. I had a chat with President Kagame last evening, and I must tell you guys, you have kept a very good account of yourselves. The President of Rwanda had tons of appreciation and gratitude for what you are doing in Rwanda. Pongezi sana. You have actually lived up to the belief that, in fact, the best ambassadors we have anywhere in the world. And I want to ask you to know that whatever it is that you do, in whatever place, you are not only doing it for yourself, but you are doing it for our country.
Kenya is the first East African country with a stable economy, where in the last 2 years its GDP was about $110 billion due to the increase of the export rate at 11.2% and import rate at 20.1%, while all this are due to the impact of Mombasa Port, which serves many countries in this region. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Through collaboration, we can actually create the Africa that we want. Very heartwarming to see. Now, the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement has cautioned that commemoration programs should not hinder developmental activities. Jessica Gasaro now reports.
The majority of the youth in the city of Kigali say that commemorating the genocide against the Tutsi makes them aware of the history that the country has gone through. However, they testify that it is necessary to continue rebuilding so that the country can move on from the bad history it has gone through.
We have to remember them and also rebuild ourselves, because if we die right now, because of hunger, for example, they wouldn't be happy about it where they are in heaven.
It is necessary that we go there on the first day, but I'll keep going to work. And if my neighbor remember, I will also attend. You understand that nothing will be disturbed. On the 7th of April, a week of mourning and 100 days of commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi began in Rwanda. The Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana, reiterates that the theme of the 29th commemoration will continue to be Remember, Unite and Renew. Except for the commemoration discussions happening on the 7th in the morning, the rest of the days will be filled with activities on how to rebuild ourselves as a country.
Muzi ko mbere icyumweru cy'icyunamo cyabagaho ugasanga ibintu byose imirimo yose yafunzwe.
You all know that before, it used to be the week of commemoration and everything were closed. What we wish is that the commemoration must not be a burden to Rwandans, but instead, it should be something that helps us remember our history and still be able to follow the vision of the country. All that needs to be done is one discussion that will be held on the 7th, the day of starting the commemoration, in all sectors from 9 a.m., where the discussions will be preceded by paying tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, and this will be obligatory.
Kinatangizwa no kunamira abazize jenoside yakorewe abatutsi. Cyunamo niko bivuga. Cyunamo giteganywa n'itegeko.
Therefore, the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement states that entertainment activities and games of chance are prohibited during the week of commemoration, but sport or physical exercise that a person does individually will continue. Jessica Gasaro, RTV News.
Thank you, Jessica. Now moving on, Rwanda, as it approaches the 29th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, the Mental Health Department at RBC has revealed that those grappling with mental health issues as a result of the genocide are still struggling. However, they are thriving because of their resilience.
Sometimes we are all afraid, and we know how that feels, but sometimes it ends. But for genocide survivors, that fear is always there, and they're always traumatized because the body and the mind have past traumas that have not been healed yet. For instance, during the commemoration, there was lockdown. 2,500 people became 1,600 people, which means that the traumatic moments are still there, even if you are alone or with other people. Although sometimes being with more people can still trigger the trauma, but the traumatic memories are there and are still there for quite a while.
The acting director of the Department of Mental Health at RBC says that an employee of the department in this area declares more on this case.
Indwara nanone iyinga depression ni ihungabana.
Another sickness is depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, and all citizens considered, we have 3.3%, but if we consider the genocide survivors, we have 28%, so comparing these two numbers, you can see that it multiplies. Therefore, we keep telling people that trauma is there on the community level, and we are doing all we can to raise awareness on mental illness, especially during this commemoration time. In all hospitals and other health institutions, they all have health advisors who have been trained.
Duhereye ku bajyanama b'ubuzima hafi 60,000 bariya bajyanama b'ubuzima bose barahuguwe.
To money matters, BPR Bank shareholders who have been asking for dividends are now happy because they are going to receive them. Take a look.
Some of the shareholders started to worry about their dividends and asked to be given them, but it was impossible at the time as BPR Bank was bought by KCB Group. On Wednesday, in an interview with the media, the chairman of the board of directors in BPR Bank Rwanda, George Rubagumya, assured the shareholders that they will receive their dividends soon through the branches across the country. These people are still shareholders, and we share their names to every branch across the country. Anyone who is a shareholder has to check with branch managers. If there is any shareholder who passed away and left a family behind, those family members have the right to request for the dividends. On the problem of these bank's customers not being able to withdraw easily, the CEO of BPR Bank, Patience Mutesi, states that there is a solution.
We found
that it is essential to be careful with the preparation of the system. Normally, a system like this, there should be 6 months till its stabilization, and now we are on 85%. There might be challenges still hindering the services, but we encourage our clients to inform us.
dufite relationship managers bose bagenda begera abakiriya kugira ngo ibibazo tubimenye tubikemure uko tubimenye.
The bank indicated that in 2022 its total income reached 72 billion Rwanda francs, an increase of 16% compared to the 61 billion entered in 2021. This increase was mainly driven by the increase in interest on loans and its good use. BPR Bank currently has more than 8 million customers.
In more news, during the discussions with Honorable Donatille Mukabalisa, Slovenia's Speaker of Parliament commended Rwanda's resilience despite its tragic past and expressed that it's been a driving factor in establishing an alliance among the two countries. We go to Precious Kirezi for more.
Slovenia's Speaker of Parliament implicitly commended Rwanda's efforts to promote gender equality, security and human rights and pointed that out as a prominent reason to establish an alliance between both countries.
Not only that we will build diplomatic relationship, when we open the doors, this also means that we can open doors for business, for exchange of knowledge, especially in the fields of environmental protection, of promoting human rights. From you, we can learn about how to promote women's rights and how to empower women to be able to take position on higher political places or high political functions. From you, we can learn how to live with everyone who have been hurt. I know that Rwanda has been hurt a lot. But Rwanda is also a country that overcome all the differences and the atrocities that it went through, and was able to reconciliate and was able to bring people together.
Rwanda's Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies pointed out that establishing an alliance between Slovenia and Rwanda will mutually benefit both economies. First, I would like to thank her for honoring our invite and joining us to commemorate the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. We are happy with the stellar relations between both countries and parliaments, and they will get even better when we start doing business with one another. Slovenia's Speaker of Parliament also visited Kigali Genocide Memorial to learn more about the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and pay her respects. Precious Chidezi, RTV News.
Always the highlight of my day, bringing you the latest in Rwanda and beyond. I'm Isabel Masozera. Do keep it RTV.